Thanks so much for joining me. I am super excited about the topic that we are going to be covering today, which is the reveal, all about creating the right type of quiz for your brand. So if you are just joining me for the first time, my name is Anne-Marie Rose. I'm a brand strategist. I help coaches, consultants, and experts like you to grow your brand online effectively by clarifying your message and reaching more of the people that you are best suited to serve. So one of my favorite ways to do that is with quizzes, which is why this is an entire series. If you're, like I said, if you're just joining me, this is an entire series called Quizness. It is an 8-part live series all about how to create a compelling quiz for your brand. So what we are covering throughout this series are the right quiz types for your business, as well as the key steps of quiz creation and then quiz setup, all that good stuff. And I've even created a companion workbook for you to help guide you through the series and get the very most out of it. So you can grab that by going to annemarierose.com/quiz guide, and that'll give you the access to the workbook. All right, so let's dive into today's topic, which, like I said, is all about creating the right type of quiz for your brand, creating an on-brand quiz, which I know is kind of an on-trend phrase. And but truly there, depending on the type of brand that you have, there is a type of quiz that's going to be more aligned with your brand and how your brand naturally communicates, the people that your brand is best suited to serve. There's a type of quiz that's going to resonate with them more. So that's what that's kind of the first step, is identifying your brand type, which you can do really fast, like 5 minutes or less, by going to brandmessagequiz.com. So if you're watching the replay of this, you can just put me on pause, head over there and take that now. That's going to help you get the most out of the rest of this entire stream. Or this entire video. So if you want to take that, what it's going to do is help you to determine, or help to identify some of those key elements of your brand's personality and strengths. And then, of course, then I'll be able to point you in the direction of creating a quiz that really reflects those things and resonates with the people that you're best suited to serve. So the first type of brand, and there are only two that pretty much every brand in the world falls into one of the, or would identify with one of these two brand types. So I've worked with a ton of different experts and consultants, coaches, and even product-based businesses throughout my time as a brand strategist, and before that, a content marketing consultant. And every brand in the world that I've encountered thus far falls into one of the two brand types that I'll be covering today. So just for reference, in case you're like, well, that's, what if I'm some type of brand type you didn't mention? Well, these are the main two that really just help you so you don't have to worry about that, is what I'm saying. All right, so the first one is an expert brand. You've already seen this. And if you identify as an expert brand, or based on the quiz results, you have an expert, it tells you that you have an expert brand, which, like I said, that's the fastest way to go about figuring that out. You're likely analytical and also results oriented. So you are likely known for providing a specific solution to your ideal audience members, and they likely trust you for your specific expertise because you have this specific type of expertise. There's a lot more that goes into that, but for our purposes today, I'm just going to share kind of like the quick overview version. All right, so the ideal type of quiz for expert brands to consider creating is a readiness assessment. So what a readiness assessment does, and you're free to call this a quiz if you do decide to create a readiness assessment, you don't need to call it an assessment. That's just the terminology that we've given it. And what it does is helps people to gauge how prepared they are for what it is you offer, or gauge how ready they are for what it is you need, how much they need what it is that you offer. So that's what a readiness assessment is. You can almost think of it as like on a scale of 1 to 10 type of an assessment, and might be the results, how you frame the results. We'll talk more about framing results, though, in a future video that's to come, but that's kind of the idea. An example of a readiness assessment is, I love this one, it's Michael Hyatt's personal productivity assessment. So what this does is, you click through, I've taken this assessment to test it out, and what you click through it, and then you're able to see, how productive are you, and it kind of scores you. And then on the back end of that, he's then pointing you towards his, he's got a productivity program, online program, as well as a book. So he's pointing you towards that and using your score to frame his recommendation to you. So that is an example. So really, if you're obviously lower scoring, you're very, 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 you really need what it is he offers. But even if you score high, he can frame it as, you only have a little bit of way to go, and you could probably see exponential increase in what it is you're able to produce on a daily basis. So because you're already productive, but this little edge, that slight edge might really push you to the next level. So he can frame his suggestions based on their readiness or their how much they truly need it. All right, and then mentor brand. So this is the second of those two brand types. And if you find out that you have a mentor brand using the quiz, or you identify as a mentor brand, then you're likely creative and experience oriented. Now, mentor brands you're known for your story, and you're also trusted for your own transformation, the transformation you've helped others to experience, and the guidance that you generally offer. So a lot of mentor brands have embarked on a very similar journey to the journey they're helping their audience navigate. And again, this applies even to product-based businesses. I know I'm speaking in a way that would probably relate more to if you're a coach or consultant or some other type of expert, but it even relates to product-based businesses. But I don't want to get into the weeds on all that because that's not really what this is about. But we can certainly chat about that further in a different video. So the Archetype quiz is going to be the quiz that is going to be very aligned for mentor brands. This type of quiz helps people to self-identify with something related to what you offer. So it could be a piece of your brand experience, even a part of your brand personality, or something unique that your brand brings to the table that helps you to stand out from others in your space. An example of an Archetype quiz, and I love that this also relates to productivity, so you can kind of see the difference here around almost a very similar subject matter, is Trello's Productivity Powerhouse quiz. Now, this quiz, again, gives you an archetype based on the type of productivity powerhouse that you are. And, you take the quiz and say kind of how you like to manage projects or how you best work and all those different things. And then it gives you, almost like puts you into a bucket, gives you a type, a productivity powerhouse type, and then recommends on the back end how to best use Trello with your unique productivity style. And I believe it even it was a while ago that I took this, but I do think it even gives you some Trello board setups based on your productivity powerhouse type. So that's what it's doing. It's giving you an archetype versus, this isn't a how ready are you to use Trello, or how ready are you for, how much do you need a new productivity tool in your life or something like that. It's really helping people to self-identify with a certain type of productivity, and then by doing that, we're then more motivated to engage with the solution that is being presented to us. But again, because the mentor brand is known for that transformation, the guidance from that story, we want to self-identify with a piece of that. That's why it's right for a mentor brand. And for experts, conversely, it's that people generally are coming to you because they don't necessarily want to be, nor are they, an expert in what you already offer. So they may not know if they're ready yet for what you offer, which is why, or they may not know what all is involved with preparing for what it is that you offer, which is why that type of a quiz makes sense for an expert brand. And then there's one more option that I definitely wanted to mention, but this one isn't brand specific in when it makes sense to use this. It's more about how it is you plan to use a quiz in your business, the strategy behind it, which if you happen to miss step 1, which I shared yesterday, that's live. You can catch it on my channel or in the playlist. That's all about deciding on the right quiz strategy for your business. So if you determined through that, after watching that video, that you want to use a quiz to help people make a decision related to what you offer, or maybe you even want to offer a quiz as a part of your customer client experience, like to help them get the most out of what it is you offer once they've already purchased, then this option that I'm about to share with you would make a lot of sense for you. And that is the prescription quiz. So this type of a quiz helps people to make a decision, and or it points them in the right direction. The results will help to point them in the right direction, oftentimes related again to what you offer, or maybe you offer a course. Another example of how to use this would be if you offered an online course that's really, really involved with a lot of different modules, and maybe right away when someone purchased, you have them take the quiz so that they can determine where to start, which module to start with. That would be another example. So pointing them that's how it would point them in the right direction. But an example of how a prescription quiz could help people make a decision that would then move them closer to a purchasing decision is something like Amy Porterfield's course prescription quiz. Now, I don't think she always necessarily calls this a course prescription quiz, but if you go to the landing page, it just says, what type of course should I create for my business? And then you can start the quiz. And I've seen her use this quiz or offer this quiz during a launch when she's launching her Digital Course Academy, which is an online program. So I've seen her utilize this because I'm sure through her research and working with lots of different students, she's heard people say, well, yeah, I'd like to get your program, I'd like to offer a course, but I don't know what kind to create. I don't know what type to create. So she went ahead and utilized this quiz, put this quiz in as a resource people can access to help them not even have that decision be a hurdle in the process of getting to a purchase decision. So this quiz will help you make that decision right away, and then now it's just a matter of, are you ready to invest or not, kind of a thing. So that is an example of a prescription quiz. Now, your next steps to complete step 2 of the Quizness series experience is to take that quiz that I mentioned at the beginning, brandmessagequiz.com. Just go there, you take it. It'll tell you the type of brand you have. And then I'd love for you to just share the type of brand that you have below this video. It's always fun to see what results people get. And then you'll obviously can go back and identify, which is the right type of quiz for you to create based on your brand type. Then if you like this video, I'd love for you to let me know by hitting like, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the upcoming steps in the Quizness series. I'll be back with step 3 tomorrow at 3 p.m. Of course, the replay will always be available on my channel, but if you want to join me live, I'd love to have you here. See you soon.